Life is hard, life is suffering.
Not everyone can be successful, not everyone will be rich.
Not everybody can be a Nipo baby, anak YTL.
Maybe this anak YTL.
But whatever it is,
Hannah Yeoh
is now 400,000 ringgit richer. Sepupus, one of the best ways to make that bank in Malaysia is to be a DAP leader. It's not because you get paid as an MP, by the way. No, this isn't Singapore. It's because of generous individuals like Kamarul Zaman.
But who's that, you might ask?
Kamarul Zaman is a hero of religion, an all-round wonderful professor at
University Utara, Malaysia.
It's a gift to humanity, meaning gifts to the DAP leaders who are also human when these people lose their Saman fitnah cases. Sepupus, Kamarul Zaman lost the defamation suit against Hannah Yeoh, and he has to pay 400,000 ringgit for defaming her in 2 Facebook posts published in 2017. How generous of him. So, Justice Aliza Sulaiman awarded 200,000 ringgit as general and aggravated damages for each defamatory post. The court also ordered Kamarul to pay 80,000 ringgit in legal costs. Wow. It's really that, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you." The judge rejected Yeoh's request for a public apology, saying any apology would not be sincere. Yeah, in case you're wondering what kind of Facebook post could be that expensive, behind the professorship, Kamarul Zaman has a secret double life. He is the OG of the Dutaf Duhan conspiracy. Now, I know that we talked about Musa Hassan last time on this channel, how Hannah so-called lost that case, but this is much bigger than this. It was an actual attack on a sitting minister in the Malaysian unity government, and quite possibly one of the worst attacks on religious freedom in the entirety of Malaysia. Now, some of you might remember this book right here, and how it became the most controversial book in Malaysia.
For that, all credit goes to Kamarul Zaman.
Apparently, one day, he found this in a bookshop, opened it up, and then he did the very normal thing that any person would do right after he opens up a book, report it to the police. Saying that, oh, her autobiography is basically meant to spread Christianity. They all want to violate our rights as good Muslims. They are horrible, scandalous, we need to protect ourselves. See, we know about his police report because it was on one of the 2 Facebook posts that he made, and that Hannah Yeoh sued him for in 2022. Apparently, he was at home reading this book at 6 a.m. in the morning. He realized that apparently it was an attempt to convert people to Christianity, which is, if you think about it, kind of ridiculous because it's basically just a sharing of her experiences. We talked about this in the other video, so I'm not going to repeat that, but get this. He says, what is shown in this book is that the Christian is one who is fortunate, and the God of the Christians is a God that is caring, good, and fair. Hannah often received prophecies, knowledge of the future, that were accurate from God, including that one day she would work with statesmen and rulers. It was also related that Hannah Yeoh's God often brought miracles, with giving her help in forms that were not expected when she needed it. These were some of the things that happened, for example, in the election campaigns, in fulfilling the desires of her heart, and in fulfilling her material needs as well. And here's the kicker. All of these stories could encourage the readers, including me, to become proud with the greatness of Hannah's God, while at the same time she included writings about Christianity that oppose Islam, including that humans are the children of God and Jesus is the Son of God. Before he goes into a whole bunch of rambling about how becoming Hannah was endorsed by Pastor Daniel Ho of the UMC, Dr. Philip Lin, Tony Phua, Rafizi Ramli, who I don't even think is Christian, and Sari Sungip.
Whoops, 2 for 2, 100% not Christian.
Even as he continues his slander, talking about how the book brings anxiety to the Muslims in this country,
Some of.
who, by the way, were protesting but didn't actually read the book.
And so, what was the result?
This whole long and rambling thing has been shared and reshared across social media in hundreds and thousands of different forms, including yet another Facebook post that Hannah Yeoh is the biggest DAP hypocrite who apparently preaches secularism but practices theocracy, where he's casually suggesting that Hannah is using her political position to advance a Christian agenda for wide distribution to every single past member around the country.
Though there are no evidence that she was spreading Christianity inappropriately.
Anyway, that's where it all began. Hannah Yeoh basically just ignored it for multiple years as this academic goes on and makes posts suggesting that she's a penunggang agama in 2020. And then when she responds, he goes ahead and sues her. He finally withdraws the suit and pays her 5,000 ringgit in costs for his frivolous lawsuit. And it just continues over the course of time, going back and forth, not retracting his statements, intending to cause harm to Hannah over all of those years.
And that shows you what kind of person he is.
I think in a small way, possibly she was hoping that he would actually retract, he would actually apologize, but no. Like, the time just kept passing. I think, like, maybe she was, like, thinking, okay, you know what, like, I can forgive him, but it didn't happen. At the end of it all,
She won, but at what cost?
in case you are wondering why YB Hannah looks so traumatized or sad when she's won 400,000 ringgit, just know it was a very long process. You know, a while ago she had even posted a post on Instagram or Facebook about how she was facing
Mental stress issues.
because of politics and work and everything like that, and I think it had everything to do with all the hounding that you see on different Facebook groups like PAS, PN, Seluruh Malaysia, Malaysian News, TikTok, and everywhere.
And at the end of it all, how much MP time and therefore public funds did Kamarul Zaman take away from the Malaysian people? Who knows?
You know, Sepupus, this case is important because it established a precedent. And I think YB Hannah echoes this when she mentions that to those of you losers out there who make religion into a political weapon, today was the last warning. Hannah will not compromise with anyone else who tries to do this kind of yapping using freedom of speech in order to destroy people's reputations and people's lives. If you disagree with someone, it is not your job, it's not your duty, and you are not legally entitled to go out there and start yapping repeatedly because you feel that your iman is tergugat, or you feel somehow that other people are going to be tergugat because anytime someone out there yaps again, a judgment can be made. You can be sued for hundreds of thousands of ringgit, and let me tell you that Kamarul Kun was very lucky, and Hannah should absolutely go all the way to enforce that judgment, which was years of damage, years of mental health struggles, not like his alleged 8 million ringgit judgment awarded because the defendant didn't receive anything and only heard about the judgment over social media. How rich is that?
But well, unlike Kamarul's lawyers, Hannah's lawyers are enforcing, so...
Apparently, Kamarul Sepupus is appealing right now, and it's like, wow, like, you really have no shame. But you know, as somebody who's been reading all those articles right here, I couldn't help but notice, like, damn bro, the years have treated this man badly. What happened to you, bro? That is decline. But yeah, anyway, Kamarul is a good example of the kind of person out there who wants to be a so-called hero for his race and religion and go out there and do the most morally objectionable saigang possible to basically slander people all the way into achieving his goal. As if Muslims are so weak. If you literally pray 5 times a day, you read your scriptures, or at least you're supposed to read your scriptures, there are 7 different types of Islamic schools in Malaysia. Why is there even a threat when there is a literal constitutional provision to basically say that you cannot convert Muslim people? Does this person even know that right now, when churches run events, the moment they see anybody who is Malay or that is Muslim, they will immediately tell this person to leave, to go away, and everything out there because we want to comply with the law and not be oppressed. But of course, people like this, they kind of deal with things in such a way that they actually know what's going on, but usually they don't want to admit it. Sometimes the cracks just kind of slip through, such as when he agreed that neither the Mufti, the law minister, nor any other authority had taken any action on the book since it was published in 2014.
Well, since he has such a good academic record, is he just misinformed here, or was he trying to deceive people? Well, if he didn't know, then he's incompetent. If he knew, then...
On this whole long journey, I think that Kamarul had so many friends out there. People like those from Bermuda Pass, NGOs in solidarity, writing post after post and comments about Dutaf Duhan, Gerakan Halus. And along the way, it wasn't just Hannah. There were multiple side quests along the way. Our dear Kamarul went ahead and sued DAP leaders, got multiple people to play victim along the way. Cause alright, fine, maybe he does have a good academic record, I don't dispute that. Maybe that's why all of those past people actually cling to people like this, listening to their every word. Somehow or another, it's just always people like this guy who are going out there writing these delulu articles, delivering forum sessions where somehow or another their professor status ends up becoming so convincing, hoping that the world will see them as heroes of agama dan bangsa. These people want to create trouble, drive a wedge between the races and the religions, destroy our diversity just for their so-called harakat, which in reality is just fitnah and even more fitnah. Oh yeah, by the way, since PAS is so clearly helping this whole thing right there with its propaganda outfit, you know who else is in PAS and you know who else is an academic? Our Queen Sepupus, Siti Mastura herself. That's right. I am Sepupu, you are Sepupu, and we are all Sepupu. But from actually just listening to people like this right here, you kind of have to wonder how they were even educated, to the point that they somehow feel that the very best use of their qualification is to literally politically target and victimize a person who, yes, is in a position of power, but is literally just trying to practice their faith in line with the constitution, in line with what every single Malaysian citizen is entitled to. What do you care if a couple of people were to end up falling away from your faith or whatever? Do you have to amar ma'ruf nahi munkar, moral police them into submission? I don't think that's how that works. See, the thing is that when we think about education, we think about how people learn more, then they become better people, more moral, more equipped, more able to actually contribute to society. But what happened here with all of these academics is that somehow or another, they learn so much, but yet their default response is to go out there, lie to people, gaslight people, never apologize for what they say, and then intentionally make trouble for people and then ask the world to pay for their mistakes. If these people, they are living by religion, then why is it that there doesn't seem to be anything good to actually learn from them? I'm not learning any good values, I'm not learning kindness, I'm not learning empathy, I'm not learning caring for people and not going out there and slandering them, trying to damage their reputation, and trying to tell lies over and over again. Yet somehow or another, they view their religion as the solution. Undi pas masuk syurga, tanpa pas siapalah kita. They must go out there and become more religious in order to solve all of their life problems and fight against the Christian conspiracy. Jangan keterlaluan kaduk naik junjung. But let's be clear, right? This is not the problem. A citizen of Malaysia exercising their right under Article 11 of the Constitution to profess and practice their religion is not the problem. The problem is any loser out there who wants to casually intimidate people using social media, wide distribution, frivolous and stupid lawsuits to cow and mock people. Everybody in this country can see through you, they understand what you're trying to do, and they understand that you don't just harm people who happen to be Christians, but also people who are Hindus, who are Buddhist, Baha'i, animist, atheist, whatever, just because you are too insecure to function in an actual multicultural society. If you think about it, isn't that so sad? It's like you're basically looking down on your own people and you're suggesting that somehow or another, however much they pray, however much they bertaubat, they can never actually survive the moment somebody goes and shares their experience, which by the way, you have the entire right to not look at, not even think about if you just close your eyes and then go away. Anyway, congratulations YB Hannah on this amazing outcome. I think it's a win for religious freedom in Malaysia, or at least the right for Malaysians not to just be mocked, ostracized, forced to believe in something else or keep themselves hidden just because a bunch of weaklings are unable to deal with the fact that we have our religious experience and we will share about them. And if they have a problem with what we believe, or they think somehow or another that they themselves want to get to know what we believe in, it's not our problem. It's not our responsibility to go out there and somehow be their caretakers when they themselves cannot even take care of their own faith.
Lakum dinukum waliyadi in Sepupus.
YB Hannah, I hope that this closes a very important chapter for you, and I hope that you will be at peace with your world and that you will continue to serve in line with the role that God has put you in at this time. Indeed, God decided to prosper you and not to harm you. There's still the Rasman Zakaria Pakte Anak YTL Anak Yesus Tuhan Lord case right there, which we have yet to know about. I don't think it's to the level of 1 billion yet, so I don't know, like sue another 1,000 more people along the way. But 400,000 seems reasonable considering what they put you through for all of those years. And heck, for all you know, that's basically underpaying. I hope that one day, if you are so inclined, that you will consider coming on my podcast, Pathways to Excellence, and I can talk to you about your experience being under all of this struggle and to understand everything that led to this day, which is a victory for religious freedom all across Malaysia, and that will shape this country for many years to come. To Mr. Kamarul, you know, if you were to write a book out there talking about your experiences with the religion, because you want to try and gugat our iman, you know, you're entirely welcome to do so. The only thing is that your behavior in this entire saga and throughout all these years is just the kind that makes it so that nobody would ever want to learn from you, understand what you believe, why you believe in it. I mean, you're welcome to try. We won't sue you for writing a book, but maybe more people out there will sue you if you're not careful with how you articulate your words in the future. Alright, thank you for watching and look forward to seeing you in the next one.